YouTube. It's another one of these videos out in front of my house with the porch light on. Anyways, I'm not going to be directly mentioning the name of the person who left this comment because I feel some of what I have to say in this video is going to be more directly clashing with what they have to say, and I'm not looking for a direct argument or whatever, but I do want to address some things. So first of all, they mentioned the first thing, which was a nice positive thing. It shows that this is constructive criticism. Thank you. They said that they like my videos, they're nice, and I brighten people's day when I have fun making my videos, which is true. And that's kind of the point of this channel. I am more so focused on how I can grow my channel and make it, bigger, better, and get more people watching, and maybe possibly have this be a possible full-time job for myself, considering that I live at my parents' house and I don't have that many expenses. So, but back when I started the channel, it really was just I'm making videos because I like it, and like my parents see it. Maybe some other friends from the neighborhood or family members will see it, but not very many people. I was doing that for like 3 or 4 years before I even was putting videos on the internet at all. First Adam Films, and then eventually YouTube. And I just liked the idea that someone could possibly, there was a chance that someone could see it. Essentially, I was just sharing it because if anybody on the internet ended up liking it, great. And now I know it's possible to find my niche on the internet, and so I can share it and I can make you guys happy. But if nobody likes it, well, I essentially had fun doing it myself, much the same as if I went into the kitchen and I baked myself something yummy that was a little bit strange and unusual, and I'm like, hey, I made this and it's good. Would anybody like some of it? And they're all like, ew, no, that's weird. Why would you even? Well, okay, that's totally fine. If you don't want any, no feelings hurt. More for me. It's kind of like that. So I really like his first point, but then he goes on to say that you won't really be getting Patreons until you have like thousands of views every video. That's probably what is a most common scenario, but I think it is possible to get some Patreons with less than that. And possible is very important because I'm not saying absolute. It might not be the most likely scenario, but it is possible. Also, when you consider that I'm not expecting a whole lot of money right now, I'm not expecting everyone to start donating and, make this be my full-time job where I live at home with my parents and do YouTube for a living. I'm not expecting that to happen all at once. Right now, I'm mainly asking for $50 a month, which at first is gonna go towards paying back my car savings, probably for some stuff I bought for the studio, or maybe not. Maybe I'll just take a loss from my car savings and replenish that from whatever day job I end up going back to in a little bit, and then I'll funnel that $50 into the Adobe subscription, which that's why I say $50. Pinnacle Studio just kind of isn't cutting it. Every time I think about editing a video, I kind of get a little bit of dread. I like it. It's really fun. That's one of my favorite parts of the video making process. But then also Pinnacle Studio is kind of slow, and I don't know if it's just gonna like not export my video. I'm gonna have to do some weird mumbo jumbo split before and after, but leave the frame in place just to get it to save. And so, maybe I'll spend $70 of my own money and I'll get the upgraded version to Studio 25, and maybe that'll fix some of the bugs and make some things run a little bit faster and better. I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask around before I do that, but I would just like to go straight to Adobe and have less of my projects split between the two different editing suites. And so this kind of ties into kind of needing some money for some things which I don't have. Like, I couldn't afford a $50 a month subscription. And it ties into the next point. The final point they made was that, like, I talk a bit about Patreon too much. I'm focusing too much on the money, which I'm in this spot where I kind of need it to be able to do this stuff. Like, you guys say you want certain things, you want me to be able to do better stuff. Well, okay, then I gotta have money for certain things, like the studio setup. I've been doing videos in the rest of my house for a very long time, but if I want to do it at the quality and the quantity that I want, I can't just do it anywhere else in the house like I have been in the past, because other people need to be going in and out of the dining room and other places like that. It just doesn't quite work. And so I need the studio space, and that costs money. But more importantly is the Adobe subscription, which $50 a month, that costs money. Some people There were some people a couple of months ago that said, like, where can we support you? They haven't yet, which I recognize times are a little bit tough, and maybe they were kind of able to support me, but once I finally got my Patreon set up, their finances had taken a shift. I don't know. I mean, I am only $2 a month for the lowest tier. I don't know what's going on. Maybe they found that the stuff that I've been doing lately isn't exactly what they wanted to support and see, which is fine, because once I get the studio set up, I'm going to be branching out and doing more of the things that some of you guys have said you wanted to see. I'll be doing other types of content besides just mostly Minecraft and things like that, which, again, I know you guys have wanted to see, and it'll give me a space to actually be able to do that without necessarily, like, bothering other people or having other people bother and be interrupting my stuff when I'm doing it. And I think more so with my mom is she's like, well, what if you made more short films and stuff? Then maybe I could share those with people. Now you people are interested. Well, I can't because I don't have money for Adobe, and I've explained to her why a few different times. And now, like, she finally gets that I actually need some money for this. So basically, maybe I am saying a little bit too much about my Patreon, but I'm probably still going to mention it as often, but in a different way, because a lot of times I'll say, and if you want to support me, because I could use some money for this studio setup and stuff, patreon.com/CoolShores101. I am 4 and 5 times cheaper than Disney Plus and Spotify Premium, because my lowest tier is just $2. Hey, I'm even 5 times cheaper than Dog TV. That one's just kind of randomly thrown in there. So I might kind of drop that and say that a lot less, and just say, hey, and if you want to support me, patreon.com/CoolShores101. Thanks for watching. See you in whatever's next. I might just say something like that. I don't know. But I do know that I am going to continue to mention my Patreon, so that, because if I don't, then people won't know. I probably won't say it every single video, because not everyone does. Like, what is it? Like, I don't think LGR says his every single video, but like DankPods does say it every video on his channel. And part of that is, I don't know, his thing is like, and thanks to all my Patreons, all these stinking names right here, because for just $1 a month I do extra vids, and this video is going to be, and he teases what the video is going to be about, which I kind of have that at my $10 Patreon tier, although I might drop that to my $2 tier. But mine is not exactly that, because I've talked about this in another video, but long story short, there's been so many instances where, and they have a Patreon only thing. I want to see that, but I don't have the money for it. Aww. And it just made me feel really sad. Like, I'm tearing up thinking about all of the things I've wanted to see that I can't because I can't afford it. And so I almost didn't want to do exclusive videos, but I figured the best middle ground I can do is have videos that are Patreon only for a couple of months, and then they go public. Sure, it drops the incentive off just a little bit. Maybe I'll have to have Patreon only videos, although I don't want to. I'm trying to avoid that, but I think for now it's a good middle ground. And there is one video at the $10 tier right now that's detailing some of the future videos and shows that I want to do on here. So, I don't know. It's going to be Patreon only until a couple of months after the first person to get whatever tier I end up putting it under. Maybe I'll put it under the $2 tier. I don't know. But it's going to be that way until the first person to see it on Patreon a couple of months after they happen. So, basically, I'm going to keep mentioning my Patreon, but I'll try and have it be shorter and more simple at the end of videos and not the whole long, only $2 a month thing that I've done. And yeah, I'm gonna, I'm kind of a salesman type, so probably that's partially why I keep saying it, and I'm also only I'm only trying for about $50 a month so that I can get the Adobe subscription. That'll be the next step. If you want to really see more edited stuff, like, I would be going out and filming random one-man, myself, short skitted things, I don't know, stuff where I'm playing 2 different characters. I would do some of that if the editing software wouldn't make it so that it would take a little bit too long to do some of those things and almost not be worth it. I mean, maybe it would be, I don't know, I just don't want to, but I'm basically going to keep mentioning my Patreon, but I will try and be a little less in your face about it, and I'll probably also try and be a little bit less, because, I really need money. Unless a lot of people are saying, hey, we want more edited shorts and stuff, then I will kind of double down and say, oh yeah, well here, look, I've talked about my editing software, blah blah blah, Pinnacle Studio doesn't work great anymore. I will probably do that. Or like when I'm doing some of the studio setup, I might just mention in there, hey, and go support me on Patreon so that I can put a little bit of money back into my car savings or whatever. I might say that here and there when I'm doing the setup. But once I get it set up, there is going to be more variety, I promise. I've got a bunch of fun things planned, like singing streams. I won't say any more about that in this video, but be prepared for things like that. And so yeah, I'm pretty hopeful that once I get more variety, and since my views are already trending upwards, that'll be the next big step towards possibly getting some subscribers. But I'm going to keep mentioning it, and that's why I'm going to keep mentioning it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you can't monetarily support me, well, share my videos, tell people about my channel, get people to subscribe and like and watch so that I can get to the 4,000 watch hours and the 1,000 subscribers. And then I can start earning ad revenue, which I'm pretty hopeful for on that one because of like getting the 10 and 20 views per day continually for my most viewed videos, the DIY cremation of green, second place, and pulling a blood feather at first place. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in whatever's next. Bye.